Hello Mastermind Gaming Community. In today's video, we are going to be discussing, are raids hard enough? Now, to me, whenever I first was introduced into the raids into the game, I thought that, yeah, the raids were fun, they were engaging, they were pretty challenging honestly at first, but once you get a couple level 100 Pokemon, once you start that ball rolling, once you get those EXP candies and those rare candies and those rewards for beating the first couple ones, after that, a lot of them become pretty easy. So really, you have to think for like the in-game content, like, are the raids hard enough right now? And that's what I want to discuss today with you guys and see what you guys think. Now, to me, whenever I first beat the game and I could go and do raids and stuff, I know you can do raids beforehand, but I didn't really want to. I really kind of wanted to wait until the end game because I knew that was kind of what the raids were kind of meant for anyways. So whenever I was going into it, I quickly learned that all of the wild area Pokemon were now level 60. So all the Pokemon you were catching were level 60 and above, and because some of them were like level 65 even, some of the final evolution ones that you'd find out in the wild. So I think that with that, I think there should have been an approach with the raids making them scale as well. And what I mean by that is I think that they should have 1-star raids appear quite often, and 1 through 5 really, and I think that like the 1-star raids should be required to be pretty much level 60. So if you had a level 60 Pokemon, you'd probably be able to clear it, which would put you right in line. Right when you beat the game, you go do a 1-star raid and you can start working your way up. And the Pokemon that you could catch could be a little bit under leveled, so you actually have to work on them a little bit. Use the XP candies you just got from the raid on them. So the 1-star raid, for example, to me, I think should have been level 60 requirement for a Pokemon to be able to beat it. And then when you capture it, it could be level 55. So it'd be 5 levels underneath the required level to beat it, and you would basically be able to then keep growing as your team grows and kind of see a little bit more in-game progression. So then, for example, the 2-star levels would have been level 70, so you'd have to have level 70 Pokemon to be able to clear a 2-star raid, and then those Pokemon would be level 65 whenever you capture them. The 3-star, I think you should have to have level 80 Pokemon. 4-star should be level 90, and the 5-star raids, which I think should be the most challenging, should be level 100 required to be able to clear the raid effectively. You might be able to do it if you had 4 people and have a little bit under leveled, but I really think that having that increase in that stair step in correlation with the star system that they have in the game, I think would have been a great addition and would have seen a lot of in-game progression. So whenever you do find those 5-star raids, they're pretty rare. The Pokemon are hard to catch, and not only that, but they're really challenging to take down. They do a lot of damage. They might be able to attack more often than the lower star raids, and just make it like a really competitive environment to where it's almost like an actual like PvE raid where you really have to focus and really have to make sure you have your EV trains right. Make sure that you or just make sure you have the right natures even. I mean, and especially whenever you get to the Gigantamax forms, I think the 5-star Gigantamaxes should be extremely difficult to do in terms of you should have to have perfect EVs, perfect IVs, perfect natures, like make it really hard. And not only that, but make it really rare to even catch the Pokemon. Kind of like it is now, but we're going to get into that here a little bit more too. So another thing that I think would be a good addition for them to do would be to see a variety in the raid challenges. And what I mean by that is every single raid challenge right now is the exact same. If 4 Pokemon faint, or if you go to the turn 10, then the raid's over, you don't win. And I think that it should be a little bit different. I think it should be varied. I think that not all 5-star raids and not all 4-star raids and not all 3-star raids should have the exact same basically loss conditions. I think it should be a little bit more random than that, and I think that should get progressively harder as well. For example, like a 5-star raid, you might not be able to let anyone die, for example. Like, it can be extremely hard to be able to win that den challenge. And I think that that would make it a lot more engaging as well, because you'd have to really think about who you want to use. You can't just pick whoever. You really have to think about type effectiveness, who's going to be tanky. You might even have to get someone in there that actually knows healing moves, so you can actually have someone that actually has to heal. They can even make it to where you have different challenges too, to where you have to beat it in less than 10 turns. I mean, there's plenty of other options out there too. And I really hope that with the DLC they might try and expand that, because right now having the same loss condition for every single raid, for every single star level, seems a little bit disconnected. I think that the star levels and also the Pokemon in terms of their rarity and stuff should also correlate with how challenging they are in terms of the loss condition as well. And then another thing that I know a lot of people talk about is like the raid exploits that go on right now. So there's plenty of raid exploits that you can do, such as being able to time advance the game to be able to shuffle around Pokemon. The Wishing Star exploits, where you can just throw a Wishing Star in repeatedly over and over by closing out the game before it has time to save. And I think that one really good solution would be to be able to fix this, at least to a certain extent, would be to have it where whenever you connect to online, all of your dens get shuffled. So if you do try to connect online, then that would eliminate you being able to farm it, essentially, because I know a lot of people will basically host raids, and you can get a bunch of shiny Pokemon and stuff because if the den's shiny, it's guaranteed shiny every time, and they can just keep hosting it for hours and hours on end. But I think that a good counteraction for Nintendo to take, or for Game Freak to take, would be to make it to where when you do connect online, that it does shuffle the dens around a little bit, and that way it's not always guaranteed. So basically your online dens and your offline dens are completely separate. So while you might have a shiny den offline, when you do connect to online, that den's going to be in a different spot now, and it might not be shiny anymore. And I think that that would be a good little solution. It would require some online server connections, I'm sure, but I think that would be a really nice solution, because right now there's a lot of shiny Pokemon in this game. Like, I've seen more shiny Pokemon in this game than I have ever seen before, and we don't even have Pokemon Home yet. And I also think that in addition to that, just seeing more group challenges. So kind of going back to that variety and raid challenges, except these can be actually requiring you to have 4 people. I know this isn't really a popular thing, because some people like to play offline, and that's completely fine. And I don't think that it should be an unfair advantage. I don't think you should get exclusive Pokemon from it. But I do think that there should be some sort of like a raid, even maybe a different collar raid, so like a yellow raid, or just some kind of different collar that indicates that this is going to be an extremely hard den to take down, and that it's going to require multiple people, not just the AI. So you're actually going to have actual people to do this group challenge with. Maybe you can get rewarded more watts or something to be able to do it, so it's not like you're actually like gaining a whole lot more over someone who's offline. It's just kind of one of those things I think would be really great to be able to incentivize people to work together, other than just stay offline all the time and do raids solo. Because right now I don't think that you should be able to go into the post game and be able to capture level 60 Pokemon and essentially solo a 5-star raid with the AI to get pretty lucky with them. So I think that that's a pretty big misstep that they took whenever the game came out. I think that 5-star raid should be extremely hard in terms of the difficulty. I think they should have different types of variety in the raid challenges, so it's not always 4 Pokemon feints or 10 turns. I think it should be a lot more of a variety than that. And I think there's a lot of upgrades they could do, and I hope that some of those upgrades kind of come to light as the DLCs approach. Anyways, though, I would love to hear what you guys have to say, what you guys think, if you guys think these ideas are good, and let me know. Let me know in the comment section down below. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.